I can't understate the importance of stretching. Although I'm going to run through them fairly quickly today, the principles of stretching still apply, which is a good 30-second hold, repeated 3 times. We're going to logically progress through the stretches of the lower body to begin, so that's going to be working from the glutes right down to the calf. I'm going to get down on the floor for these ones, and the gluteal stretch, nice and simple to begin, is leg across the body and basically hugging that leg in, so we feel the stretch down into the lower posterior part of the hip, right where the gluteals lie. Another way to stretch for the glute is flat on your back, pulling the leg up and across the body, and again, feeling that stretch down onto my lower left posterior hip in the gluteals. If you'd like to advance it a little bit further, you can come over onto your stomach with the same principles of the glute stretches in the other positions. That leg's coming up and across the body, and then you're actually using your body weight to sink down and into that muscle a little bit further. Again, feeling the stretch into the posterior part of the left hip. Advancing from there onto the piriformis stretch, which is one of my favourites because it gives a great release not only for the hip but the lower back. This one's a little bit of a puzzle to piece together. So we bring one leg up, we cross the other foot over on top of the knee, and then we're grabbing on under the leg. This will be stretching my left piriformis, which is a muscle that nestles right in between those gluteals. Simple, effective, nice stretch up through the piriformis, and sometimes you might feel it tracking down along the hamstring, which then takes me to the hamstring. So many different ways to stretch the hamstring. A good simple way that's easy to measure your improvement is lying flat on your back, leg up in the air, trying to get to about 90 degrees of hip flexion, grabbing on at the back of the knee, sometimes at the back of the calf if you're a little bit more flexible, and then trying to straighten your foot towards the roof from that position. Another way that we commonly see when the footy players are on TV stretching is leg out in front, trying to keep spine nice and straight and reaching forward towards the foot. That one's a little bit harder for me, but again, we'd like to hold that for 30 seconds and repeat it 3 times. From there, we can roll onto our side and get a quadricep stretch. Trying to keep the body nice and straight so your hip, your shoulder and your knee joint are all in line. Grabbing on at the foot and pulling back, we want to try to bring the knee joint behind the line of the hip and the shoulder joint so that the stretch is at the front of the muscle here. 30 seconds, 3 times. From there, we can come up onto our knee and get the front of the hip, the iliopsoas or the hip flexor stretching. This is almost like your kneeling lunge stretch. So weight coming forward onto the front foot, leaning into it, feeling the stretch to the front of the back hip here on the left. And to finish up, we're just going to run through the stretches for the lower leg at the back, the calf stretches. There's 2 different ways to do it. For your gastrocnemius, which is the bigger muscle at the top, which is straight leg, lunging forward into the wall, hands on the wall, keeping your heel down flat and maintaining from that position. To change it, to get the lower muscle, the soleus, we bring our body weight back and we sink through that back knee so that the emphasis of the stretch changes from upper to lower, keeping the heel flat on the floor again and trying to get the stretch from there. 30 seconds, 3 times, nice and simple, and that's going to progress you through all of your stretches right from glutes to the bottom of the foot. As always, you have any questions, you come into one of our clinics and ask our great physios for some friendly advice.